If you ever want to veer off and do a Frank Stallone podcast, let me know.
No, that won't happen.
Any of you people out there that find humor in this, you're really a sick, vapid person. You got no soul. If you think it's funny, you people should be ashamed of yourself.
I know people are going to be disappointed to hear this. There is no Frank segment. I say again, there is no Frank segment. Just a little teeny one, like a little one. There's such a teeny Frank segment that it doesn't even warrant the opening and exiting songs. The reason being, guys, we worried about this. Now, I don't know if Frank watches our show. I just don't know, but boy, it's just the content is getting less and less by the Frankster. What's your thoughts, Dom?
Maybe he does watch it. Maybe he's trying to kill our podcast.
Why would he do such?
He doesn't like the coverage.
He's like like we're like a parasite on him, but the killer has got to kill himself.
Let's be honest. Frank would never do. He'd never do that.
That's true. However, he hasn't been completely not posting on his Instagram, but he hasn't posted in 7 days. And the only thing he's posted since our last episode, which was over 2 weeks ago, think about that. Because the last thing we had was him wearing that silly scarf. Well, the only thing he's posted was his hunting trip to hunt for quail. That's it.
That's alarming.
Okay. It is alarming. So I'm going to share his Instagram right now, folks. And so people who are watching this on YouTube, we'll explain it for our listeners. So again, it was this picture here that we talked about. That was the last thing we talked about, the scarf. Saying be kind, everyone, and he looks like
last update from Frank Stallone. The final picture. More
pictures came. Oh, he did. Sorry, he did have this one video. This video is okay. It's not really worth showing. He's in like a cabin in the woods. It's a nice little cabin, and he walks around the cabin. It's very simple, your typical cabin. Nothing too like crazy. Just talks about the cabin, but throughout the video, he just keeps saying, "This is what it's all about. This is America. This is real."
An empty cabin.
Stove. Kitchen. Your country when you're hanging your hat on those antlers, that deer. Whitetail deer.
It's always about the animals, right?
Yes, we'll talk about that. Okay, so we're going to talk about it. So he just talked about how in this hunting lodge is what it is, or hunting cabin, there are a couple of like dead deer or caribou with hats hanging on the horns that's hanging on the wall. So somebody killed an animal to hang its head on the wall so you could hang your hats on it. That's a trophy, literally a trophy. But we're going to get to a little bit of more hypocrisy here. Okay.
Oh, yeah. There's a country house. Country people, Americans, good people.
So he says country house, country Americans, good people. The idea again that because you're out in the country, you're some was it bupkis or bumpkin?
Bumpkin, right?
That makes you a good American. Now, Dom, you live in the city.
Uh-huh.
How terrible of an American are you?
Oh, I'm a terrible American.
Okay. I thought so.
Obviously.
Okay, so he posted that video, and then I just want to say, so he's at this hunting. It was called the 56. Remember we mentioned we hope he goes because he's practicing his shooting. It looks like the practicing at the range paid off. Why? Nice. Because Frank Stallone won first place in the singles and team competition in the 56th annual Grand National Quail Hunt in Enid, Oklahoma.
That deserves a round of applause. He's dressed in a very nice outfit as well there. He's got the jacket.
Yeah, he says, it was a breath of fresh air to be surrounded by like-minded folks from around this great land that love this country and what it stood and still stands for freedom. Hashtag trap shooting.
How popular is that hashtag?
Well, no, hashtag quail. And then he tagged Donald and Eric Trump.
Nice. He was with some like-minded. He was with some like-minded piece of shit.
Yeah. Hey, no politics on our show, Dom. We have listeners who are Trump supporters, no politics, okay? Then the next picture is him with his feet next to the fire saying, at the end of the day, nothing says America like lying back on a comfortable couch with feet up, with your boots on, and your trusty Stetson in front of a fireplace. Okay? That's America for you, folks. He goes on to say, the heartland of this country are the heart and soul of our great land. I've always loved and cherished it. God bless this great land of ours. Hashtag tombstone. Hashtag cult peacemaker. Hashtag gunslinger. Okay.
He's still getting that tombstone. He's got to shout out to Tombstone.
And then he gives a product store supply, the Tractor Supply, hashtags them outside their store. And his last hashtag, or his last post, I should say, was almost 7 days ago. Thursday, Thanksgiving Day. Blessings to everyone around the world on this special day. When we show thanks and gratitude, a time to share laughs and connect with our friends and family, and to show gratitude to what we have, no matter rich or poor or in between. Love and gratitude is free. I love you all. Now, look at this picture he's posted here, a Norman Rockwell painting.
Norman Rockwell, right?
Can you see it? Why are the faces all messed up? Was that done on purpose?
Yeah, what is that? I've never seen that one.
It's like it looks like AI created this Norman Rockwell.
Yeah, I wonder if he was searching Norman Rockwell paintings and he came across like an AI modified, because
look at the faces look scary. Is that just me?
No, you're 100%. I didn't even notice that at first, honestly.
And look at the turkey. Is it human hands coming out of the roast? I don't.
He shared an AI Norman Rockwell picture.
I think he did. I think he shared an AI created Norman. I don't think that's a real Norman Rockwell painting.
That can't be. I think we would
Norman Rockwell paint their faces like that? Would he paint their faces like that?
I don't think so. No.
Look at this old man neck here,
especially the little girl to the left.
Yeah, look at the girl's face.
Ooh, scary.
She looks like the girl from The Hills Have Eyes.
Yeah, this is typical Frank, though. Just he goes to share a Norman Rockwell picture, and this is what he shares.
Because look at this old man here. It looks like his ear is on his neck. See that?
How blind is Frank that he didn't notice this, though?
I wonder. He's 70-something years old. He might have, yeah. Ooh. See, this one looks normal.
That's the famous one.
I think that's the normal one there. Okay. Anyways, there you go. Frank Stallone. Okay, so that's it for the Frank Stallone segment. Oh, I want to say, okay, remember the quail shooting and the dead animals in his room that he was praising?
Of course.
Do you remember about a month or two ago when he performed and was invited to perform at the event The Last Chance for Animals? Do we recall this? Can I just read the last? Okay, he performed there at their event. Okay, and let me just read the last sentence of the Last Chance for Animals mission statement. Okay, lest there be any doubt of what they stand for. Last Chance for Animals opposes the use of animals in food and clothing production, scientific experimentation, and entertainment, and promotes a cruelty-free lifestyle. And check this last part. And the ascription of rights to non-human beings. Now, what that means, ascription of rights, it basically means whatever the right you have as a human, animals should have it too. Okay, keeping that in mind, animals should have the same right as you, Dom. Can I shoot you for fun?
But now, if the people that let him perform that day would have known the man he is, would they have lynched him? Would they have drove him off stage?
Am I insane? You know what I mean? He literally is doing the very thing that they don't ascribe to. Mm-hmm. I would suspect shooting quail and promoting the killing of animals to hang as trophies in your house to hang a hat on.
To be a hat hanger.
Again, the same rights you and I have. I don't think I want to be hanging on a wall so someone can hang their hat on my head on their wall, right?
Frank is the definition of a hypocrite.
He is amazing. Frank, you are absolutely amazing. And we're hoping for more. That's it. No videos. That's it, guys. That's all we have for Frank. That's... This is the end.
I don't know.
How does that go? All right. Well,
you should play that version.
We still have one more little piece of Frank stuff. It's Frank related. So I guess one of my faithful listeners, I didn't know this this person I knew listened to the show before. I won't say their name. And I also knew that they're a Trump supporter, which is fine. I believe they are. I could be wrong. And I'm not saying the person's name. It could be a guy. It could be a girl. I'll just say they as much as I can. They left a comment on my on my YouTube page. And the comment was basically saying, how dare us make fun of Frank? And saying that we were bullying, literally said we were bullying. I can't say that word. We were being bullies to Frank.
We were being bullies.
Yeah, we were being bullies to Frank. Now, I don't agree. Okay, I do not agree. And they went on, they said further on their Facebook, and I will read this because they said, because they did mention that they deleted the post. So unfortunately, I can't quote their comment on, but it's worth discussing. And maybe people can let us know in emails or even on comments or on the podcast, whether it's on Facebook or on our YouTube. I asked the question, is roasting a celebrity bullying? That was my question. Now, we got some good comments from that, okay, on our Facebook page. Now, the person did comment on there, and that's fine. I'm not calling this person out because maybe they are not alone. If people go to our Facebook, they can see who said this. That's fine because they said go ahead and just keep their name off the air. And I will. But some people were saying as long as you're not necessarily attacking. I like what Doug said from the Rocky Minute. He said it best. He goes, bullying takes place when someone picks on, harasses, assaults, or threatens a person. I think he probably found this. He found this online. It says bullying takes place when someone picks on, harasses, assaults, or threatens a person they see as weaker than them. So here's the thing. Frank is not weaker than us. He could probably beat us up. I'm not a very strong guy. We've said he's physically fit, right? And so he's certainly not, and he's definitely not weaker than us financially, and he's not weaker than us celebrity wise. So really what we call in the business here in podcasts, we're actually punching up. Does that make sense? We're punching up. We're not picking on the weak. Frank is not weak. So if this individual thinks we're bullying Frank, then they're saying that we are stronger than Frank and he is powerless against us. That's actually incorrect. And number two, he is a public figure. You cannot slander public figures. If you could, have you ever watched Saturday Night Live and how much they crap on Trump?
Right. Norm Macdonald used to crap on Frank Stallone all the time as our intro shows.
Yes. Yeah. Norm Macdonald literally after the court said that OJ was innocent or not guilty, right. Norm Macdonald would literally say
to the point that he was fired. He was fired because of that. Pretty much.
Now, you can say, Ryan, you're not breaking any laws, sure, but you're still being mean. And I say, no. And this is where I'll say no. The reason being is because Frank, by all means, he can make a video about us. Make fun of us. Make fun of our stupid podcast that nobody listens to. Make fun of our stupid equipment or our stupid faces. Make fun of Dom's bald head. Totally fair. We make we make fun of Frank's bald head, and we might as well make fun of Dom.
Exactly.
Right? So,
and like you said, he's a public figure. He puts himself out there. He's famous. Right. That comes with being famous. Yeah, comes with the territory.
Or your mail carrier, or some
exactly
taxi driver in New York. No, this is a celebrity. Okay, and we're also taking the mick out of him. And we said the funny thing is we actually don't hate Frank.
I don't hate Frank. He brings me a lot of joy, Frank.
I don't hate him at all. We want the content to continue. We need more content. He is a blast to watch, and he's a blast to blast. Okay. And let's be honest, the things that he has said to the public on his Instagram has been atrocious. The things he says to people has been atrocious to actually the public, his fans even.
I would argue some of the stuff that comes in his comments out of his own mouth or fingertips is like more bullying, saying that people have fat back. Come on, can we not forget the fat back line?
No, he's absolutely. I've read some of the comments that he's deleted. He blocks people when he feels challenged. So to me, yeah, maybe he is weaker in that way because he can't take criticism and everything he says is correct. So yeah, maybe where I feel like it's okay to be wrong. All right. Woo. A short Frank segment, but I guess not. What do you think? Ready to move on?
I think I'm ready to move on.
All right. People in our comments are saying Frank could come back at you at any time, but it would just get you more attention. That's right. And that's right. He probably knows that. He probably knows. And maybe if he has seen our show. But then again, I agree with you, Donald. But he certainly isn't afraid to call out other people who challenge him on his Instagram. So I don't know. True. He's mentioned on his. Remember the guys that kept saying, "Who is this guy?" He addressed that issue.
Yes. How could we forget?
And him and Alex had to like spam delete everyone's comments that said, "Who is this guy?" till they stopped doing it.
That concludes another episode of Frank Stallone. Who is this guy?
If there's something